Welcome back to The Key. All right, guys, here's something that I want to share with you. This is something I feel like I get asked about a lot, are boundaries and mindset. So I want to share something with you. The theme of this today is not everything deserves you. Your life gets lighter when you, one, decide what matters, and two, stop negotiating with everything else. All right, so anyone listening who maybe has 37 tabs open in their brain right now? Yeah, same. Let me just tell you how my morning went. Picture this. I'm trying to get everyone out the door, everyone finding all their stuff, making sure they ate somewhat of a decent breakfast. And then my younger one is just dilly-dallying around like we have all the time in the world. Dilly-dally is it's his nickname from me for a reason. But naturally, we go from we're fine, it seems smooth, to full sprint in about 90 seconds. So I finally get him dropped off and I'm headed to my first appointment, feeling like I survived kind of a small tornado that we all go through every day. And then 2 minutes later, my phone rings and it's my son. And he's like, Mom, I need chips and sour cream for Spanish today. And I'm like, today? He's like, yeah, and Spanish is in about 20 minutes. No, absolutely not. So I said very lovingly, I'm like, bud, I can't help you today. So here's why I'm starting with that story. That moment is exactly what I'm talking about. Most of us, we don't have a time problem. We have an access problem. Too many things have access to us. It's our time, our energy, our attention, our emotional bandwidth. And if we don't set boundaries in these small moments, life starts demanding them in the big ones. So I want to make it simple. I want to share with you 5 takeaways that you guys could start to use immediately. Half boundaries, half mindset, but let's be honest, they all work together. Because boundaries without mindset, they don't stick. And mindset without boundaries is just positive thinking while we're still drowning. So my theme for this is not everything deserves you. I coach high school athletes and I work with people every day who are driven, capable, and used to powering through. And whether it's a 16-year-old athlete or a 45-year-old mom running a team at work, the pattern is the same, you guys. The people who thrive aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones who know what matters, protect it, and talk to themselves like someone they actually like. All right, 5 takeaways. No fluff, real life. Here we go. Takeaway 1, values first, boundaries second. If you want boundaries that actually hold, you don't start with your calendar. You've got to start with your values. Because if you don't decide what you value, your inbox is going to do it for you. Your kid's school will decide for you. Other people's expectations will decide for you. So here's what I want you to do just mentally right now. Pick 3 values for this season of life. Maybe not forever, just right now. Here's a few that tend to hit: peace at home, health, strength, presence, simplicity, fun, connection, friendship, parenting with intention, excellence, integrity, growth, stability, security. Pick 3. I want you to remember this. Values aren't what sound nice on Instagram. Values are what you're willing to protect when it's inconvenient. Here's a line that I love. Your values are your receipts. When you feel guilty about setting a boundary, you pull out the receipt and say, this is why. So pick 3. Pick 3 of those values. Maybe write them down, maybe text them to yourself if you're on a walk on your phone. Just pick 3. Let me make this real, because this isn't theory, this is life. Recently, I had to set a boundary with my mom during a tender season when my dad was in his early Alzheimer's diagnosis. And in family situations like that, it's easy for everyone's fear and stress to spill onto the most capable person in the room. And let's be honest, that's usually us. But I had to get really clear on my values in that season: peace, stability, and protecting my energy so I could actually show up well. So I had to say something like this: Mom, I love you and I'm in this with you, but I can't be the emotional landing pad for every hard moment. I can help with decisions and I can help with plans, but I just can't carry all the panic. That was a really hard thing because it felt like I was being selfish, but I wasn't being selfish. I was being sustainable. Because when you don't set the boundaries in hard seasons, you actually don't become more helpful. You become resentful, exhausted, and eventually unavailable anyway. Does that sound familiar? I'm sure we all can relate to that. Just remember, boundaries aren't about being harsh. They're about being aligned. All right, takeaway number 2, create a filter. Hell yes, hell no, not right now. Busy moms, you guys don't need more motivation. You need filters. Everything wants access to you. And honestly, a lot of it, it's good stuff. But good stuff can still crush you. So I want you to start using a 3-part filter. Hell yes, hell no, not right now. A hell yes aligns with your values and your season. A hell no drains you, builds resentment, steals your breathing room. And a not right now is the grown-up answer for things that are good, but maybe it's not the right time. And this isn't just a personal life thing. This shows up in work the second you start winning. As I've grown in real estate, something really interesting happens. You become more visible. And when you're more visible, more people want a piece of you, more invitations, more opportunities, more conversations that sound really flattering. And quietly, they cost you on your peace. I can't tell you how many times someone has said, hey, have you ever thought about joining our brokerage? Or, hey, let's talk. This would be huge for you. Here's what I've learned. Not every opportunity is for you. Some opportunities are just distractions in a really cute outfit. Discernment has been a boundary I've had to practice because high achievers, we don't struggle with ambition, we struggle with chasing. So my filter became, is this aligned with my values and my season, or is it just shiny? And sometimes the most powerful boundary is, I'm not available for that conversation. I'm happy where I am. Here's the truth, you guys. It's okay to stay put. It's okay to build depth instead of constantly chasing the next thing, because more, it isn't always better. Sometimes more is just louder. So if this is resonating with you, here are a few scripts that I want you to literally steal. That sounds lovely, but this season I'm not able to. I can't commit to that, but I am cheering you on and wish you all the best. Let me check what I've already said yes to, and I'll get back to you. I love this last one because it's code for I'm not going to panic agree to what you just offered me on the spot. I'm going to give myself a minute. All right, takeaway number 3, trade guilt for clarity. It's no with a soft landing. This is the one I think most women struggle with because you're not just saying no to the thing. You're saying no to being seen as helpful, available, agreeable, and easy. If you're a recovering people pleaser like me, that just like hit you in your core. Some of you have been rewarded your entire life for being the one who just handles it. So when you finally say no, your nervous system actually starts to freak out. But listen, guilt, it is not a sign you did something wrong. Guilt is often just a sign you did something new. Clarity is kinder than resentment every single time. So your no, it doesn't need a speech. We often joke, my close group of friends, no is a complete sentence. But here are some soft landing phrases that still hold the line. Hey, I'm at capacity. Or that just doesn't work for our family. Or I'm protecting some breathing room right now. Or it sounds great, but I'm just not able to do that. Here's the line that will set some of you free. Other people, they can have feelings. And guess what? You can still have your boundaries. Someone being disappointed does not mean you made the wrong decision. It means you're not available for everything anymore. And that is the whole point. All right, takeaway number 4, control what's yours. Self-talk plus next action and release the rest. Now we got to jump into some mindset. This is where the athlete brain comes in for me. With athletes, confidence, you guys, it isn't a feeling, it's a practice. And with moms, you guys, it's the same thing. Most of the time we spiral because we're trying to control things that we can't control. Outcomes, timing, other people's reactions, how we're perceived, any of that. So here's the truth. There is very little we actually control, but there are 2 things that you always control: your self-talk and your actions. That's it. So when you feel the spiral coming, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, what is the story I'm telling myself right now? And 2, what's my next right action? Because spiraling is usually your brain trying to solve a problem that honestly doesn't belong to you. Here are just a few self-talk upgrades you guys can borrow. Instead of, I'm failing, say, I'm learning what works. Or instead of, this is just too much, say, this is a lot and I can do the next step. Instead of, oh my God, they're going to be so mad, say, they can have their feelings and I can still choose what's right for me. Just start talking to yourself like you would talk to your best friend or your daughter, because the voice in your head, she sets the tone for your whole life. All right, takeaway number 5, the non-negotiable 15 and the weekly boundary check. Last one. This is where it all becomes real life. You do not need to do a total life overhaul. You need one protected pocket of you. So I want you to pick a non-negotiable 15. 15 minutes a day, that's it. Pick one. Could be a 15-minute walk, 15 minutes alone and quiet, no phone. I like to do that in the sauna. 15 minutes to plan tomorrow, just your top 3 priorities. 15 minutes to reset your space so you don't wake up to chaos. Just pick one. Because when you have no breathing room, when you have no white space, everything feels like an emergency. And then weekly, on top of that, I want you to do a boundary check. Same day, each week, ask, what drained me this week? What am I resentful about? Because resentment is actually a boundary leak. What's one no I need to practice next week? And what value am I protecting? These 10 minutes, it's not extra work, you guys. It's just maintenance because your life won't get less full, but it can get less heavy. So let me land this. Your calendar is not a measure of your worth. Being needed is not the same as being valued. And being the one who can handle it, it's not a life goal. In 2026, let's trade chaos for alignment. Not everything deserves you. So here's your tiny challenge. Pick one, not right now, you're going to say this week, and pick one non-negotiable 15 you're protecting starting tomorrow. That's it. Small moves, big relief. And if nobody has told you lately, you're doing a lot. Let's make it a little easier. Thank you so much for tuning in. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Please do me a favor, subscribe and share with a friend so you don't miss the next conversation. I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. And until next time, remember, the key is in the details, and the journey, it's just as important as the destination.